on 98.1 FM and AM 1220.
It is 8:09 coming up on 8:10. It's Monday. It is Monday. What happened to the weekend? All right, we can get through this. We always have. It is the Hometown Morning Show with Tori and Kyle. Kicking Kyle out because we have to make room for not one guest, but two guests this morning from HomeLink Pros. Mike Terry, the founder, and Mandy, Rami. I hope, Mandy, did I say that right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, VP of Sales. Welcome, welcome, welcome. HomeLink. Look, you even have a shirt that says HomeLink, so I won't mess it up.
I do.
HomeLink. Welcome to the Hometown Morning Show with Tori and Kyle. How are we doing today?
Oh, we're great.
You were personally, Mike, you were personally shaking your head when I was talking about Soledad. Was that an issue for you this morning?
I thought we were
in that.
going to be late.
Yeah,
You know,
it was bad.
It was
It
real
was,
bad.
yeah, it is, and it.
Sucked.
Oh, completely.
Yeah.
Never sweat it. Never sweat it. Never sweat it. We try to have some fun here. So if you're running late, don't sweat it.
I'll sleep in next time.
It's okay, you're a crack up. Mike, tell me something. Who wants to take the mic first? Mike wants to take the mic. Sounds redundant. Tell me exactly about the solar business, your solar business. What's going on?
Yeah, good question. Solar's been a real thing for about 10 years. 10 years ago, nobody had solar on their roof. You could go up and down a street to street, nobody had it. They didn't really understand it. Today, it's hard to find a street where there aren't many houses with solar on there. What's happened in California is that electricity prices have really gone through the roof over the last 10 or 15 years. We pay about 3 times the national average in California.
What's up with that?
It's crazy. There was this deregulation thing. There's all this stuff with the wildfires driving up prices. There's a lot of complexity to it. But basically, when prices are really high on something, consumers start looking for a smarter choice. Mm-hmm. And it turns out that you can buy electricity cheaper if it's made on your own roof and can be delivered a really short distance rather than being made somewhere, 500 miles away and transferred over all those power lines, racking up those really high delivery fees that people see on their bills. So people have solar panels installed on the roof. They start using clean energy, actually costs them less, and they don't need to make a big investment to do it.
Solar panels, like you said, I'm starting to see them everywhere. Mm-hmm. There's pretty much everybody on my block has a solar panel. What is the process? Is it because to me, it's just daunting. Like I look at that and I go, oh no, what is involved in making this happen? And I already have a headache. Tell me that's not the process.
That's right. There's some things that are very easy to buy. Like if you want a 12-pack of soda, you know exactly what it is. It's a 12-pack. You pick it up at the store. Everybody gets the same 12-pack. With solar, we literally don't do the same thing twice. Everybody gets a custom solution from how it's configured for your physical roof to how much power it's going to generate to line up with your bills to when it's going to make the power for time of day and time of year. So it's very important that a lot of information is gathered about the customer, about the home, about their habits. It's a very personal purchase because it's so highly customized for each homeowner. You can't go to Costco and pick up a pallet of solar panels, throw them on the house, but you are getting that Costco-style discount by buying electricity.
Ooh, wait a second. He just said, Mandy, he just said a word I like. You had me at discount. Talk to me about, you are VP of Sales.
Yeah.
So tell me about what he said. What's his discount?
Well, currently most customers are buying electricity for rates for 18 to 40 cents per unit of electricity. Mm-hmm. When you buy solar, you're buying it less than your cheapest cost that you're currently paying for now. So there's no way not to see immediate savings.
I love that. Having solar panels, what kind of, is there any kind of electricity, and I call it electricity for lack of word, what do we call it? Is it just solar power? Is that just
it's
versus, okay.
Sure.
So can we use it for anything in the home as regular electricity? Can we use it for our TV? Can we use it for our pool pump? Can we use it just as we use regular electricity?
You can. A really good way to think about solar power, it's like buying your gas at a cheaper gas station, right? So if a new gas station opens up and say it has gas for $1 a gallon, you're going to go and get the $1 a gallon gas.
Oh, yeah.
And it's going to power your car.
Oh, yeah.
And you're not going to notice the difference. The difference here is that unlike buying $1 a gallon gas, solar energy is not only cheaper, but there's no carbon emissions, there's no smog, and a really important thing that a lot of people don't know about solar is that it saves water. And that sounds weird, but the average home uses more water to make its electricity than it does to flush its toilets, wash its dishes, and do its lawn. So most of the ways that we make power in California is to take something like natural gas, make a fire, and you pour fresh water on the fire. It makes steam to spin a turbine, right? And then you get electricity. So the number one source for electricity made in California that we're using right now at this station is natural gas. They frack it out of the ground, they light it on fire, they pour fresh water. So every home that goes solar offsets more water by going solar than they would if they stopped watering their lawn, stopped showering, and stopped brushing their teeth, which would make them very unpopular at work.
Dude, I had no idea.
Oh, yeah.
I had no idea. You just, I mean, the first 10 minutes was pretty standard. Then you just told me something that blew my mind. I had no idea those sources. And here in California, we can't, a drop of water is precious. I can't even imagine what we would do. So this is actually a win-win. A win for the environment, a win for your bill, just a win all around.
That's
Why
right.
Why wouldn't I do this?
So the truth is that not 100% of people can take advantage of this. People who live in apartments or certain kinds of condos or townhomes sometimes can't get this done. People who have a really large number of trees where, you really can't see the sun.
Oh, okay.
So one downside is that not every single house can do this. But the truth is that most people that we meet with in their home hold some kind of misconception about what this is going to look like.
It's something that they think it's something that it's not.
Really? Tell me about that misconception. What is it?
So a lot of people say, hey, listen, I don't have tens of thousands of dollars lying around for this, because they're not wrong for thinking that's how, because it used to be that way.
Sure.
So 10 years ago when I got in this business, we'd go out and see somebody, we'd make them an offer, and they'd have to write a check, for $30,000, $40,000. And it's not that way anymore.
Really? Okay.
Yeah. So solar comes as a service now.
Okay.
So right now, everybody who lives in Santa Clarita has an ongoing agreement, a contract with Southern California Edison, which does a great service for them, but the customer isn't in control of their pricing. And prices vary, and they've traditionally gone up. So with solar, you're basically deciding that, hey, I'm going to buy my power in a different way. I'm going to buy it at a lower price. And more importantly, I'm going to know what my power is going to cost over time and in the future. And I know that the source of the power is clean and on my own roof, which a lot of people really like.
Amazing. I think, when we started this whole solar panel thing, you're right. 10 years ago, it's something new to us. We're seeing, a hefty amount of equipment being installed on some of the roofs, and I can't afford that. Is that something for me? And we make up our own story in our mind of whether or not we can do this. And now the rules have changed. Everything has changed. You're saying in price, in regulations, everything has changed it's evolved over the last 10 years. So we need to be educated, and that's what you're here to do. You're educating us this morning about how we need to go about to do this, because bottom line, it is such a win-win for everybody involved, everyone involved. And by the way, Mike, your analogies are spot on. I ask you a question, you have a great analogy right off the top of my head. If a couple of places, we have to talk about your new place.
Yes.
Well, tell me about your new place. You have been doing sales virtually, which is great. Hey, it's 2019,
Yep.
But you're going to have a physical place pretty soon, right?
That's right. So I spent the first 8 years in the solar business working for big companies, in executive positions. And a year and a half ago, we were both working at the biggest solar company in America at the time. But we could see that the bigger the company got, the less personal the service was becoming, the less customized each solution was. So we knew that if we were going to do this right, it had to be done small, it had to be done local. So we started HomeLink. And then what we realized is that as our team grew, we were having to get together at Panera Bread and at Starbucks to have our meetings and things, and that was fun. And we love coffee and we love bagels and donuts, but we needed a place to call home, where customers can come see us, where our team can get together. So if you love Carl's Jr., Carl's Jr. on Soledad Canyon Road. We're right behind that. The space is under renovation. We're making a lot of investment in that spot. It's going to be a fun place to work, a fun place for customers to visit, and we're really planning a lot of growth this year. We're excited.
When do you anticipate that happening?
The location opening?
Yeah, the location. What do you think? Couple of months, 3
Yeah.
months?
I mean, if we had a choice, it'd be tomorrow.
Right.
But we're getting pretty close.
Yeah, so sometime in the next couple weeks.
Oh,
Yeah, We've been
fantastic.
working around the clock.
Fantastic. And you are, am I to assume that you are part of the Home and Garden, the KHTS Home and Garden Show?
We are.
We will be
Yeah.
there.
People can see HomeLink at our booth out there, and our friendly team will be out there. And we'll be there to answer people's questions. I think what people should do is ask more questions.
Absolutely.
Yeah. because-
Absolutely. The evolution of this process has changed dramatically, and we have to ask more questions. I think we're going to like the answers. I
think
really
so.
do.
Right.
From what you're telling me, I think we're going to like the answers. It's not going to be so, get out the checkbook and by the way, those poor people who wrote the $10,000 checks, I'm sure they're not happy at this point. What happens to those people that, 10, 15 years ago when this started, those people who wrote the $10,000 checks? I mean, I'm sure they made, back the money, but
It's a good question.
Right?
So when I first get started, my first customers were my parents.
Mm-hmm.
So my dad was retiring, and he's looking at where do I put my money. And it turns out that if you have money to buy solar for your house, it can be a great investment. So he bought the equipment.
Mm-hmm.
It cost a good amount of money, but with a $500 a month electric bill that he no longer has, the investment paid itself off really quickly. The equipment has paid for itself now, and he's still using clean energy made on his own roof.
so it really
yeah.
wasn't. It's not. It's still.
No,
it's not even at that investment back years ago. It's still not bad. But so now it's even better.
There was a lot of rebates and incentives back then.
Oh, okay.
So it's always the sooner you go solar, the better your savings.
Excellent.
That's right. Yep.
If so, our listeners driving around this morning have questions. First of all, they can turn to our Facebook page. We'll have this interview posted so they can go back and see some of the questions maybe that we've already answered. But if they want to talk to you personally, because that's what you're all about. HomeLink is personal, one-on-one. That's why you formed the company.
Right.
So you can help our community directly and the people in it. If they want to talk to you, do you suggest they go to the website first, maybe look and just see maybe what questions they want to ask, and then give you a buzz?
Yeah, we think that people have different shopping styles. So we interface in all different ways through the website, through email. We even have a service where someone can handle all of this through text messaging. So if these days a lot of people are like, hey, listen, I don't need to get on the phone with someone. I don't need to have a big conversation. I just have 3 questions, and here they are. We can handle that through text messaging. So yeah, visiting homelinkpros.com. Anybody can request to be contacted. They can also call us at 833-LETS-LINK. 833-LETS-LINK. There's an extra K on there that you don't need to call. But yeah, we basically set each customer up with somebody who's very local to them, so that when they're ready for someone to come and look at the roof and their bill, we're able to do that.
It sounds like you guys thought of pretty much everything. I mean, text messaging, that's pretty cool.
It is.
Talk about evolve.
Right.
It's been a pleasure having you here, you guys, and I hope to see you again soon. And welcome to not only the home show, the KHTS Home and Garden Show. Welcome, but welcome to the community. When you open, when you cut the ribbon, will you come back and let us know, and we can take pictures and celebrate you
We're gonna
guys?
have the giant scissors.
I love the giant.
Huge.
I love the giant scissors. I always wanted a pair of the giant scissors, but we'll come by. We'll take pictures and celebrate and have a piece of cake with you guys. Okay,
We are ready to celebrate.
It's been a pleasure. It's Mike Terry. He's the founder. Mandy Rami, Vice President of Sales. HomeLinkPro.com. Check them out. They're very cool.